Hails and welcome to Rauta. Motörhead is a band that should not need no introduction. Everybody else and their aunts and mothers and, dead relatives know this band. That used to exist for quite some time. Made some big waves, obviously, all the way since 1970s. So here we are, Motörhead, with a new release. What the hell is going on? Called the Manticore Tapes. Now, this is obviously not a new studio album, as everybody can already figure out. This is labeled by the media and press release as so-called lost tapes. So, some label this as compilation. Some call it an album that was done but not released previously. And that's short version of the story. Obviously, if you want to go further, you can totally go and read the story online, or you can alternatively buy this CD and have it all told to you by the very pages of this booklet, which shares you a lot of background information about the band, about the release, about the times in the past, and all that so forth. Now, this comes with a quite extensive booklet, which is filled, as you can see, with some nice old school photos and indeed some background stories. And when you're talking about the music, you want to know obviously what it's made of, and this is exactly the time I'm gonna show it to you properly, assuming the Zoom is able to get the idea. So, I'll make it happen. Here it is, almost working together with me. Okay, it's impossible because I'm waving this hand. So, this is roughly what you have here. Couple of Hawkwind songs, couple of different alternative takes, and that's pretty much of it. So maybe you have been missing out if you require certain tapes, certain takes with your collection, and you're a big fan and collector and all. But if not so, do you really need this? Short answer is nope. Do you need this as a fan? Probably so. So now we're going to go to Metal Archives for Motörhead, started in 1975, and their career, fantastic or so, lasted for 40 years. That was quite of a long time, really, and obviously every good thing comes to an end, and that's unfortunately the thing with Motörhead as well. Genre-wise, in case you are totally clueless what this is, well, here you have pretty much it summed up. Speed metal, heavy metal, hard rock. Obviously, people sometimes put these goalposts different ways depending on their own takes or feels what a given genre is, but I think this pretty much nails Motörhead overall. So they started already late 70s with their first singles and all. And of course, these people were not first timers in the music back in the day. But, there has been these classic lineups, like in this case, Fast Eddie Clarke, Lemmy Kilmister, and Filthy Animal. And that's of course the case with, a lot of important Motörhead stuff. As you can see, this whole discography is quite extensive, but it's not like they released proper studio album in their later years, so yeah. But anyway, before they, unfortunately passed away, there was a lot of stuff going on out, and of course lots of stuff coming out after they died. Labels can still print money and all. Oops, this is the wrong one. I was supposed to click here on the Manticore Tapes. So as you can see here, the track list. This features 43 minutes, 11 tracks. So there's a set of 3 Hawkwind covers, where obviously Kilmister was, big part of it. Then there's a couple of alternate takes, and that's the kind of a story pretty much here. And if you look at the lineup, it's this very, very classic one. Lemmy Kilmister, Filthy Animal, and Fast Eddie Clarke, who all died 2015, 2018. And that was indeed the kind of a classic lineup a lot of people are thinking about when they're talking about Motörhead. But when we're talking about this release, who is this for? Well, like I said, it's probably those who are mostly interested, who are already existing Motörhead fans, who really need to have it all, who have their snaggletooth tattooed on their skin and so forth. And in that sense, this all makes sense, After all, we're talking about the kind of a release which just puts some stuff that is not so easy to get on a one CD or whatever. But apart from that, musically, this is not obviously clearly the better things that have been coming out from Motörhead camp. This is more, in a way, kind of a punkish, hard rockish version of Motörhead, rather than the heavy metal stuff that, in my opinion, is the best, but whatever Motörhead. I mean, whether you're talking about the kind of Ace of Spades or Killed by Death kind of hit songs, or whatever, I mean, this does pale in comparison to those big time things. Obviously, this was recorded early on, and like it's mentioned here, this was recorded at Emerson, Lake and Palmer's own Manticore Studios in 1976, so very, very early stuff. Why wasn't it released like that? I do not know. There are reasons, probably all mentioned in the booklet. I didn't actually finish it, but that's pretty much the story. This was so early in their kind of a demo era that it wouldn't have made so much sense, especially with the, covers and maybe alternate takes, which they have all their should I say, proper format. And here it is, and indeed labeled, described by the press as a lost Motörhead album. But like I said, this is more, I think, more like a sales point, a sales pitch kind of a thing, rather than a fact. But those who are indeed in need of more Motörhead, yeah, this is it. But musically, production-wise and all, this is more like, yeah, you get the demo version of Motörhead in so many ways. You kind of obviously hear the glammy sound and, songwriting. But apart from that, it feels like a letdown when you're thinking about the best days of the band and all. So, I don't want to say it like this. It's, easy money grab. Because obviously I do understand that some people want to have it all. But for a lot of us out there, do we really need this? No. So it's definitely a collector's item. And in that sense, it's obviously nice that it's this cool digipack. I prefer digipack over regular CD cases, jewel cases, and of course the stuff within the booklet. Obviously, you can read a lot of this stuff through interviews, through biographies and all on online or whatever. But those who want to know a little bit more than just the lyrics and all that stuff, maybe this is worth the money. I guess a fair assessment would be saying this is something you should probably get for a mid-price thing rather than full price. But obviously, each and everybody out there is gonna judge that for themselves, whether or not you're a big fan or casual listener of the band. And a lot of people will probably just go for streaming services and check it out, like if they're missing out or whatever. But in case you're thinking of this FOMO, fear of missing out angle here, you're not gonna need this unless you're a collector. Not in physical format anyway, but like I said, you do the judgment, you do the assessment for yourself. Now, off you go, give Motörhead some love and listen, but maybe you don't need to start with this unless you're already the collector, and in which case you're probably not even watching the video. So there you have it. Go check it out. Links are provided in the description box. Off you go. Bye.